Et merci Raquel pour votre travail acharné pour
Raquel, for
empêcher
your
Justin
hard
Trudeau
work
de bannir
in preventing Justin
au moins
Trudeau from banning and
temporairement
prohibiting, at least
forcer
temporarily.
Trudeau à prendre une pause de son plan
He at least
de
has put a
bannir
pause
des
on
armes de
his
chasse
plan
des
to ban
Autochtones, des
hunting
fermiers et des
rifles
autres Canadiens qui
belonging
suivent
to
les lois.
Indigenous farmers
N'oublions
and
pas,
other law-abiding
il y a 3
Canadians.
mois, le gouvernement
Let's not
de
forget,
Trudeau a mis
3 months
de
ago, the
l'avant
Trudeau
des
government
amendements pour
put forward
bannir
amendments
les armes
to
de chasse.
ban
Et
hunting
3 mois
rifles.
plus tard, après avoir nié
3 months later,
qu'il allait toucher les chasseurs,
after
il l'avoue.
saying that he was
On peut
not going to
penser
go
que c'est
after
juste un autre
hunters,
exemple de
he turned it
l'incompétence de
around.
Justin Trudeau.
We think this is
Ça
just
serait
another example of
raisonnable.
Trudeau's
Mais malheureusement, ce
incompetence.
n'est pas le cas. Justin Trudeau veut
Unfortunately,
bannir
if that was
les
just
armes
it,
de
that would
chasse.
be fine,
Comment
but that's not the
le
case.
savons-nous?
He wants to ban
Il
hunting rifles.
Sur
How do we know
CTV,
that? Because he
il a
said
dit
that.
en décembre, il y a moins de 2 mois,
In
il a
December,
dit
less than 2
qu'il va-
months ago,
que son
he said
gouvernement allait retirer
that
et
his government
bannir
was going
les armes
to
utilisées
remove
pour la chasse.
and
Les
prohibit
nos autochtones
weapons and arms used for hunting. Those are tools of
qui ont
our
déjà un permis d'acquisition
farmers
utilisé
and
ces
other
outils,
Canadians who have
légalement. Donc,
legal permits to use
en
these
plus, ce
rifles.
qui est pire encore, il
But what is even
gaspille
worse,
des ressources qui pourraient être utilisées
he's
pour renforcer
wasting
notre
resources
frontière
that could
et
be used
empêcher
to
l'importation
strengthen
des
our
armes
borders and
utilisées
prevent
dans la
the
criminalité.
importation
En
of
même
weapons
temps,
used for crimes.
après 8 ans de Justin Trudeau, la
After 8
criminalité
years
violente
of a Trudeau
a
government,
augmenté de
violent crimes have
32%.
increased
Donc,
by
attaquer des
32%.
armes de chasse de nos
So going
autochtones
after
et des
the
fermiers,
hunting
ça fait
rifles
rien
of our
chez les
Indigenous
criminels.
people
Les
and
vrais
farmers is doing
criminels,
nothing to
ce
prevent
sont les
crime.
trafiquants d'armes qui devraient être
Criminals
ciblés et
and
c'est ce que
arms
nous allons
traffickers are the
faire.
ones who need to be targeted, and that's
Thank
what we'll
Raquel
do.
Dancho and our conservative team. My conservative team and I have forced Justin Trudeau into a temporary but humiliating climb down today. Trudeau desperately wanted to ban hunting rifles. Not only did he send a Liberal MP in to throw a sucker punch at our lawful and licensed firearms owners by banning their hunting rifles, he was asked specifically if that was his goal, and he said yes. It wasn't just incompetence, as we would normally expect from him. It was his own words, and I'm going to quote them here. This was from December. There are, in his words, there are some guns, yes, that we're going to have to take away from people who are using them to hunt. That's his agenda. That's why today's humiliating climb down that we have forced Trudeau to make is a temporary pause in his plan to ban hunting rifles. He is doing this because he got caught, and because Canadians of all walks of life from across the country, law-abiding, decent, Indigenous Canadians, farmers, rural Canadians who follow the law, stood up with Conservatives and forced him to temporarily pause this plan. But we will not let up. Conservatives will never allow Justin Trudeau to ban hunting rifles, and we will remind Canadians that if he ever gets the chance, and if, God forbid, he ever got a majority, Trudeau would ban hunting rifles and he would ban all civilian firearms ownership in Canada. That's his agenda. He's made it clear, and we won't let him do it. Because we know his agenda. He said it right here. There are some guns, yes, that we're going to have to take away from people who are using them to hunt. Oh yes, he'll reintroduce this either in this Parliament, or he'll dream that, God forbid, if he ever got a majority, he would ram it through. That's why the only way law-abiding hunters and farmers will be able to protect their way of life is to elect a Conservative majority government led by Pierre Poilievre. Good faith. Good faith. You are definitely with the CBC. You think that anything about this process has been good faith. So, no, but I mean, you got to ask, obviously you're from the CBC, you're trying to help him out of a bad situation, but the reality is this. He introduced this amendment. No, it's CBC. He's trying to carry Trudeau's water again. I'll give an answer to the question. He introduced this amendment with hundreds and hundreds of firearms owned by law-abiding, lawful, licensed people. He then attacked anyone who disagreed. He tried to use fear and divide and conquer, as he always does. and he reiterated his plan in December to ban hunting rifles. The only reason Trudeau has put his tail between his legs and paused this plan is because my team and I forced him to do it. But if he ever got the chance, make no mistake, he will ban hunting rifles, and the only way to prevent that is with a Conservative majority government.
You have no hard evidence of this. You just said he wants to ban all civilian
Sorry,
of firearms.
sir, what wouldn't you ban? If you're going to ban single-shot rifles that are exclusively used for hunting, then what would stop him from banning everything else? We also have the list. We also have the list of everything he tried to ban, and we have his words, where he says, I'm going to say it for a third time because you don't seem to want to cover it, we're going to have to take away from people firearms they're using to hunt. He said that on CTV 2 months ago. That's his agenda. It hasn't changed. He's had a humiliating climb down today because he got caught. But the only way to protect the rights of our law-abiding hunters and farmers is with a Conservative majority government. Wait.
What makes you think it's temporary? And what is it about it that's unacceptable to you? I say that because it's agenda. He defended his plan to ban hunting rifles for 3 months. He said that he wanted to take away hunting rifles from our Indigenous communities, hunters, farmers, and other people with licenses. Those are his words. Why would he have said that less than 2 months ago? It's because it's his agenda.
It was bad faith. He came in with a sucker punch, dropped this amendment out of nowhere. It's doubtful whether the amendment was even procedurally allowable, but he tried to ram it through with as little debate as humanly possible. And then he backed it up by saying that he wanted to take away hunting rifles from people. It shows his real agenda. Good thing that we had the incredible Raquel Dancho and other Conservative MPs. We were the only party that stood consistently against this from the beginning. We're the only ones who forced him to pause this plan, and only Conservatives can be counted on to make sure it never happens.